Hi Kaiser Kangaroos. This week we're going to be working with some cardboard and we're going to be making cardboard portraits. So maybe you have some cardboard boxes that you had in the mail, or maybe you could even use the back of a cereal box, the inside of a cereal box, wherever you can find cardboard. And we're going to be making some cardboard portraits. If you are one of our younger grades, be thinking about what it is that's on your face. You have a mouth, you have two eyes, you have two ears, you have two eyebrows, you have one nose, you have hair, you have a chin. Those are all things that you would include on your portrait. Our older ones, we're going to talk a little bit about measurements, because we've talked about this in our classroom. So here is an example of just a sketched portrait, and you have a large head here. Your eyes come about halfway down. Use your fingers to measure. So your eyes are about halfway down. So you would cut out some eyes and you would put them about halfway down. It looks like it's going to be too far down, but once we add the hair, it won't look that way at all. Okay? And then you would add your eyeballs, and we need to remember that usually when your eyes are relaxed, you don't see the top and the bottom of your irises. Instead, you just see the a line that goes across because your eyelids cover the top and the bottom of your irises. And then you would add pupils. If you have glue, you can go ahead and glue those. If you don't have glue, though, you can just put it down and make a portrait that you can then take apart. And then after you add your eyes, your nose will be halfway between your eyes and your chin. So things are measured in halves. And you might remember that your eyes are about an eye width apart. So I need to move mine out a little bit. The corners of your eyes line up with the corner of your nose. See these little lines right there? The inside of your eyes line up with the corner of your nose. So I need to move mine out just a little bit and make sure it's about halfway across. Mine is just about right there. And then your mouth is about halfway between your nose and your chin. So I've got my mouth here. Now some of you may be asking how it is I'm cutting these. I'm just using scissors. I took that same Velveeta box that I used during my landscape, and I just cut out the corner here of the box to make the nose. The mouth, that way I make sure it is, what's that word? Symmetrical. We want one side to look just like the other. I fold this in half, and then I would cut my mouth. And I wanted mine to look like it's smiling. You may want yours to look like it's surprised. You may want it to look like it's sad. I don't want mine to look sad, but if you want yours to look sad, that is fine too. If it's surprised, it might have more of an O shape. This one's a smile. And then once I cut it out, then I took my scissors and on the middle, I made another cut that went almost to the edge, not quite, because I don't want it to fall apart. Open it up, and there I have my smile. Okay, same thing with your eyes. You could fold it in half, and then once you cut one, you can lay it on top of another piece of paper, another piece of cardboard, and use it as your pattern. If you have a pencil, you could trace it and then cut it. I am not using a pencil. I'm just using my hands and my scissors, and then you would cut it out and put it on. If you do not have scissors at home, you could tear. If you're using something that's thinner cardboard like a cereal box, then it would be even easier to tear. And then we need to think about our mouths. The corner of our mouths line up with the pupil of our eyes. So I need to make sure my mouth is lining up with the pupil of my eyes. And now I'm ready for my eyebrows. Same thing. I cut out this eyebrow, and then I laid it on here, and then I cut out another one just like it. So I want my eyebrows to line up with the corner of the eyes. And now I'm gonna add my ears. Okay, ears are basically a question mark. So again, I folded this in half. I cut. And you kind of have to turn your cardboard as you go. Make it kind of like a question mark. Mine's kind of tearing because I'm doing it quickly. Earlier I was taking my time to make my example, so it didn't tear so much. And then you take that, and it looks a little bit like a butterfly, but you just cut it in half, and there you have some ears. And if it's not quite the shape you want, then you can always trim it a little bit. And there you have ears. Your ears line up with the bottom of your nose right here, and then kind of with the top of your eyes. So I want it to line up with the bottom of the nose. I'm going to tuck mine underneath my head here. Line it up with the bottom of the nose and the pupil of the eye. And now we're ready to start adding hair. That's going to make it look like it is the right dimension. So I'm going to add some hair here. My hair goes almost to my ears. Hair. It's kind of going over my eyebrows a little bit. On one side, not quite on the other. And then here is my hair. Now, if you wanted it to be curly haired, you would take some strips of cardboard. So let me use this piece. You might want it to be pointed on one end because your hair is fine and it comes in little pieces. You make kind of a long triangle right here, and you just curl it around your finger like you might if you were curling your hair on a curling iron or on rollers. Make it kind of curly like this, and you start adding it to your hair. Now, if you had corrugated cardboard, it's going to turn out to have more of the texture of hair. This is one that my kiddo made when she was in 4th grade. So yours might look something like that. And then you just start adding your curls until you have finished your portrait. I would love to see examples of your portrait. Please take a photo and send it to me on your Google Classroom page. All of your teachers have my cell phone numbers that my cell phone number that I sent out. They can, you can get that number and you can text it to me, or you could email it to your teacher, or you could send it to your teacher in their Classroom Dojo, or their Clever, or their Remind, whatever it is that they use, and send me a picture. And I would love to see a picture of your beautiful portraits. So let's get a good picture of it. And you can see this portrait that I made. And this portrait that my kiddo made when she was in 4th grade. So I would love to see your work. Be sure and send me a picture, and I will put it up in our quarantine art gallery. Bye, Kaiser Kangaroos. Have a great week.